Good morning, everybody. It's Brett, your thankful carnivore. Geez, it's Monday, June 24th. June is almost gone. And this is today's Thankful Carnivore report after I had to miss a few days last week because I went back to my hometown in my home state, Huntington, West Virginia, for my 40-year high school reunion. And I had an amazing time. The reunion, folks, Brent, Shelly, Sharon, Beth, Angie, Tim, everybody who could, Pam, everyone who contributed to that, you all did an amazing job. It was a wonderful couple of evenings. The turnout was fantastic. You guys got to realize, out of our graduating class, there was maybe 103, 104 total. And out of that, 16 have passed away. Well, there were over 80 tickets sold for the reunion. And that wasn't, two people equals two tickets. A husband and wife didn't equal two tickets. That was 80 plus classmates bought tickets. And out of that, I would say 70 or more of those folks actually showed up. Why would you buy a ticket to your 40-year reunion and not show up? I don't get that. But it happened. But we had a ton of fun. A lot of laughing took place. I'm so grateful for that. But even if that whole reunion thing had been a big bust, I still would have considered the whole visit a success because I got to spend time with my son, who I had not seen for 12 years. And we had a beautiful opportunity, and we took advantage of it to mend fences, repair bridges, and forgive each other for things that needed to be forgiven, and we forgot the things that needed to be forgotten. Let's put it that way. It's a beautiful experience, and I'm so blessed and so thankful that it occurred. And I'm very proud of my son. He's a very private person. You won't hear me talk much about him. He's not into the social media thing, and I respect him highly for it. He's invested a lot of time and effort on his own into his personal growth, his own taking care of his own demons. And he's been low-carb, keto for quite a while. He looked amazing. My son is jacked up pretty nice. And he's talking about going carnivore because he thinks he sees what it did for me and he thinks it might do something similar for him. So I was really, really happy that occurred. That there's the highlight of the year. That'll be the highlight of the decade as far as I'm concerned. My cup runneth over. In other news, I got to see firsthand the horrible, sad, real-life effects of dementia brought on by long-term insulin resistance type 2 diabetes. I got to see it up close and personal in ways I would never have imagined. I'm not going to go into the details because some of these things need to be just kept private. But my father's in first stages of dementia. It's not a good situation. I got to observe his behavior firsthand. And I pray that he's filled with peace and calm all the rest of his days, because he sorely is in need of it as his world begins to shrink. It's very sad, it's extremely sobering, and it's a poignant lesson that the choices we make today will come back to bite us eventually if they're the wrong choices. I mean, I can be critical and I can point out you should have done this if you only had done that, but the damage is done. The best that can be hoped for now is some slowing, but that requires compliance. And unfortunately, there's just probably not going to ever be much compliance with those notions. I'm reluctant to use this phrase, but it is what it is. And there's nothing I can do or say to change it. All I can do and have done is let my mom know that when she feels the time comes that I'll be honored to come help take care of my dad for his last days. We'll see what happens. But for those of you who believe in the power of prayer, if you would send prayers toward my father from now, put him on your prayer list at your church, synagogue, wherever, I would greatly appreciate it. Pray that he's filled with peace in his remaining days on this earth, which could be quite extensive still. But, and let's pray that he's protected from harming himself and others. I would greatly appreciate that. I got to experience what life on the road as a carnivore is like, and that was different. I got to experience what it's like to only have X number of minutes between the time you land at the airport and the time your next flight takes off, and waiting in line for the slow people at the Burger King to give you your 2 plain meat patties. It wasn't a lot of fun, but I got to eat in time. I got through it. And that was one last point I want to share about this reunion stuff, this whole week in general. I didn't get to keep the same normal schedule, but it wasn't off by very much. And I had to adapt to different cooking stovetop, different utensils, going from electric stove to a gas stove, going from making bacon in a deep fryer to frying in an iron skillet on a gas stovetop. It was quite the educational experience. And let me just say that when I got home Sunday, after I hugged and kissed my wife at the airport, when I came home and walked in the door, I hugged my air fryer. Because I really missed that sucker. I missed that perfect bacon. Severely. And it pretty well confirmed that for the rest of my days, I'll be making sure there's an air fryer that operates always close by. Listen, you have a great day. It's a great Monday to take care of yourselves. Don't focus on the trials and tribulations that life throws at you. Focus on the solutions. You know what works. You know what brings the results that work for you. Stick with it. Eat your meat. Drink your water. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. And be thankful.